Uh, Welcome to Darts MMA. This is a passion project by Abhishek and I. We share our love for MMA and we love discussing it every single time after every match, before every match, and the drama building up to it. So we thought, why not make it into a podcast? So here we are discussing today UFC 254, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje for the UFC lightweight unification. It's between the current champion and the interim champion. So, would you like to explain what that is?
The current champion is the Khabib Nurmagomedov, and the interim champion is Justin Gaethje. So the interim champion, Justin Gaethje, defeated Tony Ferguson a few months ago, actually in May, and he became the interim champion. So interim champion is for a temporary period. So he will face Khabib for the undisputed title, which is basically the original title, that is the UFC lightweight championship and the UFC interim lightweight championship. And then we have the middleweight bout between Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier, which is for the number one contender for the UFC middleweight championship. Either one of them is going to face Israel Adesanya, who is the UFC middleweight champion, who defeated Paulo Costa in a very brutal way. This match is going to be both of these matches are going to be very interesting because they're totally unpredictable. All these fighters are straight up killers, to be honest. And
True.
yes. So, Joel, would you like to talk about how Khabib and Gaethje are different stylistically?
Without further ado, I would first like to introduce their achievements and whatnot, their records. Khabib Nurmagomedov, also known as the Eagle, is the current UFC lightweight champion. He has an undefeated record of 28 and 0, which, if anyone who rarely even follows MMA would know, is very, very rare. And to do that for 28 fights consecutively is insane. He has big wins over former interim champions and champions like Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Michael Johnson, Rafael Dos Anjos, Edson Barboza, and many more. He trained in the American Kickboxing Academy. He is originally out of Dagestan, Russia, and he trains under Javier Mendez. And he used to train under Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, his father, who recently passed away due to COVID-19 complications, which makes this fight even more interesting, considering how both fighters have respect for their parents and they love them to the core. Javier Mendez has himself trained a lot of champions, the very known ones being Daniel Cormier, who was two-weight champion at light heavyweight and heavyweight. Luke Rockhold, who was a middleweight champion, Cain Velasquez, who was two-time heavyweight champion, and Jermaine Randami, who was the featherweight champion in the women's division.
We have Justin Gaethje. So Justin Gaethje, who is the current UFC interim lightweight champion, he has won Fight of the Night 5 times and Performance of the Night 4 times in UFC. That's like an unachievable feat. No one has been as remarkable as him in the lightweight division, especially.
As violent as him.
Yes, yes. And all his 7 fights, he has earned a bonus, which is considered a huge thing in UFC itself. And he has been the AIA Arizona State Wrestling Champion 2 times in a row and has made his mark in NCAA. Justin has also been the lightweight champion in the World Series of Fighting. I think a lot of people gloss over that fact, and he has really made his mark over there too because he has the most consecutive defenses, most title win bouts, longest streak, KO wins in that promotion itself, in the World Series of Fighting itself. So UFC acquiring him is such a big feat in itself because
True.
he has really tested himself in all other.
He has made his mark for his fighting style. He's
Yes.
utterly violent. And of course, he is known as the highlight. His nickname is the highlight for a very good reason. Because if you look at any of his fights, none of them are boring. None of them.
Yes.
Which brings us to their style, their dominant styles. Now, Khabib is very heavy at wrestling and grappling. And that is because he has been brought up like that by his father. His father is a very big wrestling and MMA coach in his hometown in Dagestan, Russia. Right now, he has been recognized by all over the world for the way he trained his son, Khabib Nurmagomedov. He has been wrestling with bears in their area, real baby bears at the age of 4 or 5. and there are still videos of it out there, which is just insane. Which
There's even
shows
a
the
recent
grit and
video. There's even a recent video of him just scrambling.
yeah, he was grappling with a bear right now as well. He has also been two-time Sambo world champion, which is a very big feat in itself. Sambo is a very wrestling and grappling dominant sport. Of course, he has the longest active undefeated streak in MMA with 28 wins. Nobody has achieved that yet. Nobody. And in the dominant fashion that he does it, he only has one plan, and that is take them to the ground and pound them till they give up. He quite literally breaks their soul. You see them giving up in their eyes, which is quite scary to
He
be
wants them
honest.
to give up. He talks to shit to them and he's fighting.
He talks with them in the middle of the fight, saying that he deserves the title shot. He wants the title. You do not deserve it, and breaks them from the inside, which is very interesting. Very interesting. But on the other hand, we have Justin Gaethje, who well,
Justin Gaethje, he has been fighting since the age of 5. His
yeah,
coach Trevor Whitman. I mean, Trevor Whitman has really trained some champions back in the day. I mean, Stipe Miocic, GSP, John.
quite a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, if I'm not wrong, he has trained around 18 world champions.
Oh, right. I mean, that has been like that's why Justin and Trevor Whitman's that combination is so lethal in a way, because
Yes,
and we always talk about Khabib's wrestling, for example, right? Khabib and how he can literally more people the ground and pound and everything.
true,
We have
true.
Justin Gaethje, who is a wrestler himself. Like even his coach, like Trevor said in Joe Rogan's podcast, like a lot of people like sleep on that aspect of Justin, the wrestling.
True, because they haven't seen it for themselves. He never really uses his wrestling.
He never really had to, right? He never really had to, because
Yeah, true.
when he's on stand-up, the way he uses his striking, the way he doesn't care where the fight goes, right? He doesn't care where the fight goes. Doesn't care if he's getting hit. Like he will take the shots as much as he can. He doesn't care about getting hit. He will go forward no matter what. He will take them, like he will corner them. He will take them into a corner, and he will literally use all the power he has to break them. And that's what we saw in the Michael Johnson fight. Like Michael Johnson was literally on his knees.
We have to put in that Michael Johnson did give him a tough fight, and he wasn't knocked down once. He wobbled so much, but he wasn't knocked down once, which really shows his heart in it.
Right. And Big John had to like tell him like, get up, like you have to fight, you have to finish the fight.
Yes.
And that's why this guy is so special, right? And even the respect that they have for each other is, it's commendable, because even in the press conference last night,
The respect is really something good, considering how MMA usually has a bad name for trash talk
combat sports in general.
Yeah, combat sports in general has a really bad name for trash talk and negativity. However, we see these two gentlemen, even in the face-offs, where they're supposed to be showing animosity, they show respect, shake each other's hands, which is really beautiful in my opinion. Really is.
Because he has excelled so much, I think Khabib also realizes that he's a danger, because he's not saying that I will take him to the ground, I will maul him. His whole analogy about this fight is, I know he is a threat. Like, I'm not going to think about other fights right now. I'm not going to think about GSP, or I'm not going to think about Conor right now. For me right now, to defend my title against Justin is a big thing, because Justin is good for my legacy too. Because he's that good in this.
True.
So,
Defeating someone like Justin Gaethje, who has been so violent and so dominant in his performances, especially in the performance against Tony Ferguson.
Right.
Now, Tony Ferguson in himself is an artist. He in fact had the longest winning streak until Justin went and broke it down. And oh my God, what a dominant performance it was! I still remember screaming on chat with you.
Right.
I was rooting for Ferguson, and he lost in Justin won in such a dominant fashion that I could do nothing but respect his grit and the way he performed out there. Justin, at the start, first of all, he has knockout power in both his hands. He knocked out James Wick with his left and Edson Barboza with his right, which just showed, and one punch knockout power. It's not even like he added them up or something like that. Khabib, just like people underestimate Justin's wrestling, people also underestimate Khabib's striking. And we have to put that in note. Just because he does not use his striking does not mean that he cannot. In fact, he has Javier Mendez, which in himself is a really, really good boxing coach and striking coach.
even Trevor Whitman is a former boxer. Like, both of them have this striking.
Yes.
Both the coaches have.
Both are the best at the game. So this not only becomes, and the narrative behind this is so good. The champion from Russia fights against the champion from the US,
It's a
and
proper Rocky
Justin
movie.
put. Yeah, exactly. Justin actually quoted this, and he called it a Rocky Four movie. This is a Rocky Four movie, but even better, of course. Some quotes have been very interesting in the build up to this. Khabib, he said that he would drag Justin Gaethje into the deepest water and drown him there, which is very interesting considering Khabib isn't usually a trash talker. Of course, Conor being the exception, he had to trash talk there. But Khabib usually isn't a trash talker, and he isn't even trash talking right now. He's being very serious, and that's scary because I've never seen Khabib like that.
And we have Justin who is saying that if he takes me to the fence, it's over for me. But if he's keeping
Yeah.
it, like I'm going to like literally break him. This is not his fight anymore. So I mean this is an amazing fight in itself. And also I think Khabib's stand up, right? The punches that he landed on corner.
The right hand, the overhand right.
Yeah, which was I think it arised out of the fact that had to worry about Khabib's wrestling. So would that be a problem
Yeah.
for Justin? Because would Justin constantly worry about the wrestling, worry about getting taken down? Would that be a problem for Justin?
That's actually a really good question because here's the thing. Justin knows that Khabib is going to do that. He has Trevor Whitman by his side. It's not only like I said, it's not only a battle of the fighters, it's a battle of the coaches. And Trevor Whitman, I'm pretty sure, has already drilled it into Justin that he is going to do this. He's going to try and confuse you, which is where Justin's leg kicks come in. Justin is a very powerful kicker. Tony Ferguson was known for his shin. He has videos of him kicking metal pipes and whatnot. Justin made those shins bleed with his leg kicks. That's something. That's really something. Because to break a shin like that and to break Tony Ferguson in the way he did is insane. Justin even has a knockout victory by a leg kick.
Yeah.
And that's Chris Weidman level shit, breaking Anderson Silva's leg.
Right.
So Justin, like he has said, he would use his leg kicks first. He will go from the legs and then go upwards. This is very true. He did that in the Ferguson fight. It looks like he'll do it in this as well. And which is very useful as Khabib needs his legs for wrestling. Whenever he takes someone against the fence, he uses his legs to propel them into the fence, to pressure their chest and to stop their breathing.
So he literally locks the legs, like he's trying to lock.
Yeah, he locks them up.
Yeah.
And so people cannot get up. Now that is where Justin says that he will scramble, he will use his techniques, he will use his wrestling there, defensive wrestling there. One very interesting thing about Justin Gaethje is he has only been on the ground for 17 seconds in his entire career.
Right.
Take that with someone who took one of his opponents.
Who's on your back all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Khabib took his opponent Abel Trujillo down 21 times. That's a record in a UFC match. To take someone down 21 times and to meet with someone who's only been on the ground for 17 seconds. This really is a match of what happens when you meet when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. It's nuts. You cannot get. And quite frankly, I usually guess who would win, who would not. I am very unsure about this one. I don't know who will win.
Right. And in that fight against Dustin Poirier, when Khabib fought Dustin Poirier, Dustin had him that guillotine. Like it was a tight guillotine. Right?
Yeah.
It was a very tight guillotine.
It was a very tight guillotine.
Yeah, but he was able to get out of it. I mean, after that, he put him in the rear naked choke, right?
True.
After that.
And that's the thing about Khabib. Even in the worst of situations, he's calm, he's composed. He does not panic.
Yeah, right.
He does not panic at all. He stood in that guillotine. That guillotine was a tight guillotine. He let Dustin take his energy out in that guillotine because for Dustin, that was a Hail Mary shot.
Right.
That was his last chance at winning that match. And quite frankly, it felt like he would win. But Khabib got out of it as if it was nothing. And then he proceeded to get him in a rear naked choke and win the match.
And I think one more important thing that both these fighters, like Khabib doesn't have a loss and Justin has 2 losses. But Khabib had a very tough fight against Gleison Tibau. Now, Gleason, in that
Yeah,
Gleason Tibor fight, right, we didn't see him able to take him down. He was very active in that fight. That's why he won the fight, because both the fighters were going at each other, but Gleason was not really, he was not really putting himself out there. But Khabib was really going for the strike, going for the shots.
he was putting all in.
Yeah, he's trying to take him down. So, but if you go by the statistics, he had some advantage. Like Gleason Tibor had some advantage. So if something like that happens in Justin Gaethje fight, where he's not able to take him down, where Justin is just trying to, but Justin was also trying to strike back, and he's not able to be successful in that. So how would that fight go? Would that be based on efforts of the fighters, and also in the Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier and Eddie Alvarez fight, right? Eddie Alvarez,
Yeah,
he used his knee, right? He knocked him out, if I'm not wrong.
yeah,
Yeah,
he did. Justin Gaethje, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez. That fight went for 4 rounds, and Justin fought a very hard fight.
Right.
Justin almost took Eddie's knees out, but because Justin at that time wasn't defensively so good, he used to just go in, eat shots with his forehead, like he used to say. He used to eat around 10 shots in a round. That's a lot. That's a lot. And now, of course, he has the highest significant striking rate in UFC history with 7.74 strikes per minute. That's a lot. That's a lot for someone who, for a sport where dodging, falling down, wrestling, and all of those things is important. Landing 7 strikes in a minute is no joke at all. And that is where I feel Justin would have his advantage in his leg kicks, in the way he mixes things up. Khabib, however, has to make sure that he is not in his range. Like Justin said, he's very good at establishing his range in the first minute. Khabib has to look out for that. Khabib has to not let Justin get comfortable in his position. And Khabib has to do what Khabib always does, get them down and maul them till they give up. Justin does not give up. Justin, like Trevor Whitman said in his interview, Justin tells him things like, if I die, I want to die in that cage. And he says it with his whole heart, like he's serious.
Literally after the fight, he says,
Exactly.
This was fun. Like he doesn't have any energy.
For Christ's sake, he backflips off.
Right. The only one fight was, I think, the Michael Johnson fight, where he was not able to backflip.
And the Tony Ferguson fight. He did not backflip off of that. He just went over the fence like he was about to fall.
If like we haven't seen both these fighters go entire 5 rounds that in that many fights. I think Khabib had this fight with Al Quinta where it went 5 rounds. But we haven't seen that much. Right? We haven't seen them. We have seen them finishing the fights within like the first 3 or 4 rounds. So this would be an interesting fight where like how would this go? How if is Khabib going to be entirely dominant? Is Gaethje going to be entirely dominant? Both these fighters.
I don't feel that either of them would be fully dominant until the third round.
Right.
I feel like the third round is going to be the deciding round where they feel each other out, know each other's tactics, and they try to make some changes. It works, it does not work. In fact, it is in round 3 that Justin Gaethje, when he was fighting against Tony Ferguson, that he really started landing those shots.
Right.
He started cutting Tony Ferguson up and bleeding him really bad to the point where Herb Dean was concerned for it.
Because Tony Ferguson was successful in a way because he was trying to have.
He had knocked Justin Gaethje out in the end of round 2.
Right.
And Khabib too. He started putting in his whole effort in round 3. Say Dustin Poirier, where he starts taking him down again and again and again. With Conor McGregor, the only round he has lost. But I quite frankly feel that Khabib hadn't lost that round.
Right.
Yes. And that I don't feel that he lost that round because Khabib still took him down and Khabib knocked him down in that round.
Right.
So that was something. So wrapping things up for this match, how do you feel Khabib will win and how do you feel Gaethje will win?
I think Khabib has to make sure to win this fight completely in a dominant fashion. He has to make sure that this goes to the fence. Like he has to follow his game plan. Like if he has to win this fight, the fight is equivalent to his game plan. So if he takes him to the fence, he's mauling him, he's trying to ground and pound him, he's locking his legs, he's trying to tap him out, he's trash talking while doing it. Like he's trying to, he's trying doing the mental warfare literally. I think
Yeah.
these things are going to work for him, right? And Justin Gaethje, on the other hand, if he's able to keep it in the middle, he's able to not let him take him down. Elbows, striking, leg kicks, knee. He can use he can literally use his power in a way, without getting to the ground. So
And his wrestling.
and the
And his
wrestling,
wrestling.
yeah, which is an underrated factor here. But if that was
Yeah.
his wrestling, would he out wrestle Khabib like that? These things are so unpredictable.
That is what I'm interested in. Would
Right.
Justin Gaethje be able to out wrestle Khabib?
Right.
Because Justin Gaethje takes real pride in his wrestling.
Right.
He has had over 200 amateur wrestling fights, and he has won 191 or 192 of those before coming into MMA.
Right.
That's a lot. And he is, of course, NCAA Division 1, which is basically, if you are in Division 1, you go from the Olympics from there.
Right.
Daniel Cormier, who was in the Olympics, he went from D1.
Most of the MMA fighters have been in NCAA, basically.
Exactly. Like, say, Kamaru Usman, the current welterweight champion. Colby Covington, who is number 2, I guess. Yeah, he's number 2. Number 1 is Gilbert Burns.
Tony Ferguson.
And, of course, Daniel Cormier. So, all of these people are from a wrestling background and have been champions or are still champions. So, I don't know. This is really interesting.
It's a really interesting fight, and we have other fights too, but we don't have enough time to cover everything. So we are really focusing on Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. But we will cover this fight later on after next week with the fight.
Yes. When the fight is done, we will talk about all of the things that happened in the fight, and of course our reactions to it. We will be recording our reactions to it. And yeah, so final prediction. Who do you think with?
I really don't want to make a prediction right now, but if we have to make a prediction, I think because of Khabib's dominance overall in general, and how he has stick to his game plan, and people have had game plans in the past against him,
True.
which has never worked really. But if I go by that, by that reasoning, I would go with Khabib. But I really can't pick and choose here, because this is that unpredictable.
To quote our American gangster Chael Sonnen,
Right.
It's really hard to bet against Khabib. It really is. But saying that, Justin is unpredictable.
Right.
And from inside, I quite frankly feel that Justin is the guy who will take him down. I feel Justin will win. And I feel it will be by round 4. I feel it will be by round 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I do feel so.
Possible. I mean, I think if Khabib retires ever, I mean, if Justin has every potential to be the future lightweight champion, and he can literally defend the title
Yes.
constantly. He doesn't care. That's
Exactly. And if he does defeat Khabib, he says he has plans for Conor.
right.
If Justin really goes in and defeats the top 3 of the lightweight division in a row, that is monumental. That is monumental. And I'm so excited for this fight. I cannot put it in words.
So let's end this video, and we are going to come with more updates in the future, and by next week we'll come with another video.
Stay on this place, and we will be updating you with everything. We will have an Instagram page, dark.mma, and which will be up with these links in the description, of course. Follow us there so that we can update you on the latest MMA news every now and then, because we discuss it. So you can rely on us, trust us. And of course, you can watch this fight. The main card starts in from 11:30 p.m., which is quite convenient considering how it usually is in the morning. The main card starts in at 11.
Yeah, you don't have to switch on your alarm clock or anything.
Yeah, you don't have to wake up early morning. It's you taking your beer, taking your alcohol, taking your takra, whatever you want to. Sit down, enjoy this match. It's on Sony 10.2.
Yeah, Sony.
If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And Sony 10.3 in Hindi.
10.1, 10.2. They have the HD.
Yeah.
Normal version, right?
Yeah. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do share. If you have love for MMA, then please do follow us. You will enjoy this no matter what. And if you are a new fan, welcome. Welcome to the sport of MMA. It's only going to get more interesting from here.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.